Because there are some scary things.
Yeah, there's a bit of jump, bit of kind of catch from fog with Kunkka, the Axe Mark, and of course Hoodwink always lurking in the trees. And be a bit of a challenge for squishy glass cannon heroes like this Lina. We'll see how Ori does those. We get ourselves into game 2. Azure all smoked up. Well, Heroic again, not going for these early smokes, just wandering out naturally into their lanes.
Yeah.
Set themselves up, all 5 men together.
They are gonna get spotted here on this ward then with Medusa showing on the top rune. So we'll see if they want to do anything on the side of Azure. They do have Pugna all the way bottom, blocking the big camp though.
Do you feel like heroes like Sven and Medusa force the hand a little bit in terms of how the tempo plays out in a game? I think about item timings, how they're farming, when they're farming.
I think it comes down to comparison between the enemy team and your team, how it forces it. I think this game, if you are Radiant, you want to play higher tempo, you want to do things. Because sure, you're strong late game, but that Medusa is going to become very hard to deal with eventually here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, is like how fast does this DP Tiny in particular have to play, you know, pressuring tier 1s, diving towers, looking for kills, to give that bit of leeway for the Sven until he's ready. And maybe a bit more calm and patient, a lot of time on the side of Heroic just to get to their item timings, get to their position of power.
Some curious parallel warding by the two teams. You see these wards?
Yeah.
the Dire actually put a ward on their own high ground there on the bounty rune to see if someone comes up around them, which is a little bit surprising to me because it's not the most useful in the mid game, this ward, or like mid laning stage I should say.
Does it see the rune at nighttime?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I was thinking, like, if that mid lane ward gets dewarded, they will always have vision on a rune.
Or that one. Oh, yeah, I thought you meant the bounty rune. No, the power rune they do not see with this one.
Okay. Yeah, interesting then. Let's see if it catches a glimpse of someone rotating or roaming and what happens there. The lanes have all kicked off with the creeps clashing. Down at bottom, just trading blows. Tianming trying to make that 1v1 with the Hoodwink happen, while the Kunkka and Sven much more focused on last hitting, getting their creeps up.
Oh, Courier goes down.
Okay, already. That's a bit of bonus gold. And what about Schofield? Is he baiting with his little donkey there?
Good stun there by Luke, dealing a bit of damage.
Pummels the Kunkka a fair amount. Start burning through your regen. And he's got a llama courier, you know?
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
It's the kawaii llama. And he spelled llama with one L here, so so he is the llama.
The llama. And the bottom lane. We'll look away up to top. KJ and FY having a bit of a battle in the forest. Looks like they've dragged this wave back, so Bach can get a bit of last hitting going on in safety under his tier 1.
KJ gets a pull though on the big camp, which was not blocked. FY going into D or to stop the pull, but that's a lot of HP lost. You may not have died, but that's very costly. And now, of course, he has to tank up, but it just, you know, still hurts.
And the pull still kind of happens. And KJ can keep pressing forward onto FY, cutting that lane in half, making things awkward for Bach to stick around.
Tanking a full duration rocket barrage is so painful nowadays with the buff to it. It's 240 damage on level 1, I think. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that was like 60% of Tiny's HP just on its own. Add in the right clicks. It was close there. Pango 10 and 1. Ori Lina catching up there 10 and 2. The waves, you know, in a weird and wonky spot just because of Pango grabbing water runes and moving around. We'll get clipped by the stun there.
Overall, Lina doing what he can, just non-stop harassing. But Pango has that, you know, survivability from the shield crash as well, and so far playing the lane quite well. Analog maybe performing a little bit better so far, just hero matchup wise.
Oh, crack level 4. I think about these bounty runes which have just spawned up. Lotus pool getting utilized there by KJ, just handing it over to K1. One of the best little things there from the POS 5, just to keep your carry topped up. Keep ferrying and handing them regen, no matter where it comes from.
Oh, Tiny tossed back the gyrocopter, trying to deal some damage to him.
Yeah, good avalanche and some damage from Bach with the spirit siphons. KJ drops low. That swarm, but into the stick, or the fairy fire. gives them that little burst of regen to stay alive.
Not quite enough, but that gives, you know, more time for K1 as well to just be farming and be happy on this Medusa. So all the attention over to a gyrocopter here, not that bad for them on this lane. And looks like he can get the pull as well. There's a nice split pull here, only pulling 2, so those creeps are denied.
Yeah, very nice. And that can be one of these camps that, I guess now the kobolds are buffed, it doesn't hurt as much. But this was not as bad as the kobold family, but not one of the best camps you can get. There's a toss back there from FY. Catching K1, dropping him down to about half mana, forced him to use a pretty full stick there as well. And KJ will try and bodyguard him in the meantime.
Yeah, he's working on the mana boots on Medusa. Once he has that, the kill potential on Medusa is basically gone on this lane. It's really hard. And the nice thing is, Medusa going mana boots means that the gyrocopter is going to have a lot of mana to spam. It's kind of weird. Normally you don't get mana from your carry, but yeah, Medusa is very unique as a carry.
Actually, absolutely is. And carried by arcane boots. What's going on? You can't even disassemble it.
It's just a value item. It gives way too much mana right now. Like, it feels amazing.
Man, Ori taking a beating from Analog in this mid lane now in terms of where he's sat regen-wise.
Yeah, dangerous with Schofield kind of lurking about here, ready to perhaps dive in on the tower.
It's been pinged out by the Sven, so I think Ori knows this is coming. But in comes Schofield, no matter you know it or not, dropping low and killed by the Swash. Pango gets the first blood. All the experience and all the gold for him.
Yeah, that is such a nice setup there by the Hoodwink. Now gonna run away as well. Pug not TP'd mid, but not gonna be able to do anything as well. So really clean for them.
I mean, Tianming's trying to chase the Hoodwink all the way back to lane. Schofield just scurrying back. Seems pretty happy with the development there.
And top lane, we start seeing a little bit of a harder time now, perhaps soon, for the DP and Tiny, as going on Medusa almost isn't an option anymore. He has 600 mana, 3 points in the mana shield, you know, very survivable.
Like, even this gyrocopter, right, with brown boots, double branch, naturally having 7 armor, you're just not being punished at all. Like, okay, they can magic burst you down to maybe 20, 15% HP. After that, you're good.
Medusa wins the click war against the DP.
Backups coming in from behind the Tianming, and FY wrapping around on this Dusa, but
he is so fine.
You said it, that window, that door has shut, and now Schofield is trying to open a different one onto Bach with the bushwhack, a roll from Analog, swinging him into this fight as well,
full mana
towards FY. Yeah, K1 just hasn't been touched. Doesn't give a damn about your aggression and your moves into this top lane. FY is going to toss him around, but the kill comes. Maybe an overreaction from Heroic, but making sure that they get the kill and they defend their Medusa works out in the end.
I think this just proves exactly the point that I was talking about. You used so much there. Toss back, you had a rotation, 3-on-1. It was a lot of damage being done. But the amount of damage you need to kill the Medusa right now is absolutely absurd. The mana alone to go through it would be like 1900 damage worth. And then you have the HP as well after that, which sure goes down faster, but it's just not happening.
And then, oh, okay, Ori just throws Laguna Blade into this Pango, but he's got a lot of tankiness behind him with that shield rune, a shield crash, the toss back from FY sends Schofield back. So Ori is going to be okay.
Nice little engagement. I mean, all the time Ori is taking so much damage from this swashbuckle. His CS is looking good on Ori. So even though he died that one time, first blood, he's still farming pretty fast and looks like he's building straight towards a Gleipnir. Gonna be the rushed item for him.
There's some form of control against this Pango and Hoodwink causing him so many issues.
Pango gets a bottle refill by his friend there. KJ can just leave Medusa alone right now. She doesn't really need help to stay safe. So I like the choice to leave that lane, go mid, get a D-ward, and play around other heroes. Maybe even activate the Kunkka soon.
Well, Heroic, they're setting up these Bermuda triangles of vision and wards. In the previous game, it was top lane to defend their Sven. Now it's mid lane. 3 observers, one in the Ancients, one to the right side of the lane, and one in the actual mid lane proper, as they kill Tianming over a regen rune scuffle. Now they've seen FY, they've D-warded mid as well. A lot of emphasis now coming into shutting down Ori. It feels like that's the best practice here from Heroic. Don't care anything else, just shut down Ori, kill this Lina. They see her every step of the way. farming away in that bottom jungle now, making sure that this map gets pretty constricted for Azure Ray. And even loose Sven, 4,000 net worth, he's starting to ramp up now. Has the Morbid Mask, nearly Mask of Madness. That's going to be his...
Yeah, Sven is getting really big. I like this trap they're setting up mid right now. Smoke around though. AR, they know it's dangerous. They're trying to stay far back.
Davalama sees the Lina. Prime target with the X-Boat. Easy setup for the kill on the mid laner. FY also getting trapped in the trees. Buck is here with the Ghost though. Exorcism with an avalanche onto KJ. Dropping Gyro low, but I think he'll be glad to die there for the 2 kills they've got. Can they get Schofield out though? With Tianming and Bach giving chase. Schofield very close to death and a double kill for the DP. Good reaction from Azure Ray. But now Bach might be in a little bit of trouble. Half duration still on Exo. Analog and Davai Lama went in aggressively. Maybe turn that around. I've said Bach's in trouble, but maybe not. It's the other way. As Analog forced to swash to safety. X-Mark will drag the DP back under tower as K1, the Medusa, pre-10 minutes.
Oh, he's gonna heal soon. Gotta kill him fast.
Heals? No, the DP dies. The tip from Davai Lama as Bach dived too far.
And that was good punishment there. Baited him by Analog going in, looking like he overcommitted. The DP is like, sure, I can kill you, and then goes down instead. So not working out there for the DP, and things just falling apart for AR already as well. This is very early on, and they lost 3 heroes to that fight.
And they spent Exo. Like, yes, you've spent Exo and you've got some kills. You've tried to defend that mid lane, but I don't know, every time you use that DP ulti and you're not pressing buttons and killing top tier 1 or getting into jungle, finding a massive core kill feels a little bit wasted.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to get more out of the exorcism from DP there. You want to get something, towers, kills, you know, win a significant fight. But this is just giving more time. The bright side of things, I guess, is that Sven is farming pretty well for them. So Lou, he's getting his item progression. As we saw last game, the Sven wants to just sit back and chill, build up his item advantage, and then come in and have impact. But they have to survive on their own until then.
Yeah, and the big difference here is Heroic are already prepping for the Ancients take. They've got wards over there. They haven't blocked the camp. So it seems like an indication that Heroic want to go and steal or at least fight around the Ancients rather than just blocking it from the Sven. Let's see what they're up to.
Trying to do damage to Dusa again, just runs away.
Yeah. Let's get the courier though at least. Yeah, Bach going for that Witchblade. Try and add another layer of damage and stuff to the DP.
Oh my god, the Pango almost destroys the Lina immediately. The Diderun.
Well, yeah, already disappears. Ancient stack spotted.
Oh boy, 0, 3, and 0, and this big stack is gonna get stolen here. They don't have Sven TPing, so he's not going to secure it. Yeah, this is just gonna go the way Pango, I guess. FY is going up.
I mean, FY, wrong neck of the woods, I think.
He wants to die with his Golem brothers. That's it.
Yes. Like a rolling stone.
Rolling in like a little meal. Walking meal.
So what was that? 2 kills, triple ancient stack. Aggressive move into enemy ancients, full control of this mid lane now. And Azure Ray, it feels like they're nodding off, they're having a bit of a nap, waiting for Sven to be ready.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, you can't afford to have this bad of a start on Alina as well. This hero is supposed to dominate early on. You really want to get going with this this laning stage advantage. It's akin to what we saw on the Viper recently, but I don't know. This is just very worrisome for them.
Pretty soon you're looking at a Dusa Manta style. Davai Lama being gone on bottom. Combo from Tiny and Lou's move forward with the God Strength gets the kill. Boat will crash down onto the Sven though now, and Schofield's arrival. Oh, good tree cut by Lou, predicting the bushwhack. But they've still got Sharpshooter and some damage from the cooldown. Bach's come in with a DP Exo, wanting to turn the tides of this battle. But again, as Exo used, they need
very
kills,
early,
they need
though.
towers, they need something.
Yeah, can siege a tower with blasts and Exo. Not overcommit here.
They're always going to be careful. And look at Tianming. Gets away from the Acorn shot. And that bushwhack could have been dead there. That's, yeah, Exo used. Okay, you protect the Sven and Lou can go back to farming, but And Bach has got to feel pretty sad about the turn of events here, using Exo twice in a reactive defensive move rather than him stepping forward on, you know, top tier 1. Is he still there? 1400 HP?
Yeah, this is really rough. Really rough. Not getting any buildings down with the exorcisms feels really bad. I mean, did you get the mid tower earlier? But everyone on the side of Heroic getting so strong right now. The Pango is working on his Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim's coming close for the Kunkka as well. 1200 gold away at this point. So closing in a bit. And Medusa has the full Manta Style and 800 gold.
Yeah, that's Kunkka on top of double bracer, phase boots, and wand as well, right? He's incredibly tanky.
Yeah, very durable build up on him.
I saw how long he lasted, even against, what, Tiny Sven and the Pugna. Because they had the Decrep Tiny combo and then Sven hitting him several times.
Yeah, that was a lot of resources used to bring him down. And I think Sven, he has a lot of pressure to come online early this game. Because of the, you know, late game, the Medusa is going to be really rough for him to kill. So Sven, I don't think he should go for the same build that we saw last game, where the BKB and Assault Cuirass was the build for Hector. I think he needs to go for an earlier Blink Dagger.
Okay. Just get on top of someone, blow them up, get involved in these earlier scrappy fights.
Yeah. Like, if you get the Pango, then the fight can be quite easy, I think. Even jumping the squishy supports can be a play.
Where's my pension?
I guess you need some wiggle room for this Lina now. Ori 030. Maelstrom is done, so a bit of catch-up mechanism available to him. I mean, Lina's the one sat in the Ancients farming that triangle, while Sven is still down in that bottom jungle under 2 Dar Observer wards.
I mean, she's farming on the triangle, but that's also her grave, you know, that's where she died last time. And there is a smoke coming towards her. Fortunately, looks like she's gonna be in time to get out of there. They have their eyes on top, though. This could be dangerous. He's moving into them.
Oh, Ori, where are you going?
Scary looking. They saw him.
Ori. He just wants to push top and help out back. Caught out with a bushwhack. Ori taken down, and now Analog's coming in hot. Hey, Bach and FY slowed down with the Diffuser Blade. The Exorcism used here. Are they trying to fight around this DP now? Sven is TP'd in. Lou looking to play aggressive onto the Hoodwink. Pops the God Strength for the Great Torrent. Davai Lama holds them back, and once again, Bach has used this Exorcism. Maybe finally we'll get some tower damage going, though.
Yeah, Heroic not done. This Exo.
FY, toss, Avalanche, looking at Analog, and just like you said, the Sven has found the target. A nice juicy one there to kill off the Pango, and his streak is grabbed.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, or a lot of gold. They're chasing Schofield, probably not gonna get him though.
Now FY get beaten down by K1.
He got too close, and the Diffu Medusa is here.
Tianming dodges the torrent, but they've got so much just grab, catch, control. Nice decrep TP, but the damage and that little bit from the homing missile comes just in time. Oh, they got another
nice,
one.
good play.
There's your dominoes toppling one after the other. This fight is extended so long. Okay, Bach does get himself away. Faith Beyond thankful that Heroic don't have anything left in the tank there.
Yeah, finally gonna get out. I like that he held his X mark on the TP out there from the Pugna. He didn't use it, instead looked for more, tried to get another kill. And they didn't have enough for it, but you know, the mentality of not having to use too many abilities on one target. Good discipline there. Never see the start to the fight. Ori just dead before he could do too much. Can't even drop his ulti before dying.
FY kind of going in, looking for targets, does find the Pango, which was the prime guy to grab there for the Sven, just to wander in and find a swipe on him. I do get that tier 1. It's a bit of pressure onto Heroic, forcing K1 out of his cave. Stops farming to come and join for a little bit. Now Heroic gathering their forces mid. FY tanked by the Torrent. X mark into cooldown. Ori with a good light strike array, but the rocket barrage was already coming. So an objective for Heroic in that mid lane.
Yeah, that's so nice. The amount of space for this Medusa as well. He's had such a free time on K1. Really doesn't have to join for much at all. Just swooped in earlier for a little bit of diffu and quick kill there on the Tiny. But most of the time, it's just 4 heroes protecting one by going and being aggressive somewhere else. The 4 protect 1 doesn't have to be sitting around the Medusa. It's just play anywhere you want in the face of Azure Ray. And that shields her.
Create the bunker of bodies in front of the Medusa's farming spot.
Okay, so they have something now on Azure. They have the Gleipnir completed on Lina. It's a big power spike because now he can actually set up his own stun. He missed it though. Clicked it but didn't get the hoodwink.
It scurries too quickly. Avalanche is there from FY. Ooh, wanted the toss back, but now KJ turns with Analog's Rolling Thunder. FY dying to the Deucer. K1 gets the kill. Now Chanming, the next one on the menu for them. Decrep. Buys a little bit of time, but your death is inevitable.
Kunkka's hunting.
Oh, you're right. Dabo Llama's in the back. X-Mark is there on the low. They've got a good pushback on the Lina. Dabo Llama does get caught by the Gleipnir. The boat crashes onto Ori, but the rest of Heroic not on the same page as the Kunkka going so deep.
That was a good combo there. The chain stun allowed him to do so much damage before the roam came out. So Lina stun following up the Sven stun there really allowed them to bring down this otherwise really tanky Kunkka. Once he has his halberd, maybe he would have survived the play like that. But as for now, that was a good catch on him there.
It feels like in the
thing to Azure Ray.
Yeah, got a little bit. It feels
he
like
is queuing up the blink now on the Sven, so he realizes, like, you know, Assault Cuirass too far away. We need tempo right now.
Yeah, gotta go for something. Right here, right now. FY also feeling the same. Drums popped, blink used, catch on Schofield, and Hoodwink's gone. Meanwhile, up further north, Bach has been found here. K1 and Analog pairing up. Take him down. I was gonna say something that it feels Azure have struggled with like significantly in this series is the warding from Heroic. How many of these observer wards have we seen in like interesting, unusual places that last the full duration?
It's really nice. I mean, it's KJ on the money with these wards mainly. His Nature's Prophet wards were really hard to find, which is, you know, fair. You're playing Nature's Prophet, so usually pretty hard to deal with those. But even in this game, he's going pretty deep, and you know, that sneaky ward on the right, it doesn't give nearly as much vision as the high ground ward that you could have on the Ancients there. But it does give vision that's less likely to be dewarded. A lot of people put a sentry and don't actually ward the high ground themselves. Then you might easily miss this one.
Yeah, you'll never find it. Oh, Wisdom Rune for Schofield. Another one's going to spawn in 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Go
about
back.
to spawn.
Go back and get the next one, buddy.
Yeah, maybe you should have held that Wisdom Rune. Let it ferment. You took it too early.
Yeah, get the double, right? The double boost.
Gets way more value. I mean, this one was 560. How much is the 21 minutes? It's like 800 something, right? I think.
We'll find out in a second.
0. If you put it in a bottle, it's 0.
840.
840. Yeah. Missing 300 exp. Oh, yeah.
Unlucky.
600 times 2.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, two heroes get it. So what's the cause of this lull? If we're thinking that Azure want to be stepping with a foot down on the pedal, getting fast.
I think what's happening right now, the lull is because Heroic actually backed up a bit. They have been on the money with the gas, like just going in, playing super aggressive. But now Sven has Blink Dagger. Maybe they respect it a little bit, so they're backing up. They look like they might want to smoke out though, together with the Pango if they shove mid creep wave. I think we're gonna see a smoke pop here. But yeah, a little bit of a drop in tempo there was them just, you know, going back, taking wisdom, not playing overly aggressive.
And then Azure trying to fill that bit of power vacuum. Spread pretty wide across the map. 2 bot, 2 mid, buddy system in effect. And Low, the only one kind of out on the map far to the north. Let's leave them a little exposed to this kind of move from Heroic.
Looking for the Lina. Lina's still farming the area.
That's why they want to show on the lane, but
she goes left. They have a watcher there. They will see her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's in vision.
That's a Radiant watcher.
Tiny instead. Or do they?
Torrent?
Ah,
close.
close.
The X-Mark. Yeah, you got him. Gets caught out.
Torrent for vision in Fog of War is so useful. Has that Torrent Storm available as well on the Kunkka, so maybe they want to go for an objective here. Could go Roche, looks like that's the priority for Medusa. Interestingly, Medusa went for the Eye of Skadi instead of going Butterfly or Disperser before it, so prioritizing getting a little bit of extra survivability and also that slow, of course. And there's a lot of healing to mitigate, so item makes sense here against DP and Pugna, I feel.
Yeah, I guess you're seeing this buff DP as he's quite a bit of a threat. Very tanky, has BKB. Love to stop the Spirit Siphon heals and stuff like that.
It does not pierce BKB anymore, though, the Eye of Skadi, so the BKB on Death Prophet can keep her, you know, strong and healing and not being slowed up by the Medusa, at least. It's very weird to me. It used to be like the item to slow someone when they have BKB, and I was like, nah, it doesn't work.
Can't do it. Not possible. Is that a Parasma coming from back as well? He's got it queued up. It's an expensive item, though.
That's a curious item. I feel like that's not the item for him next here. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of other things he could use more than increasing his damage and getting the Parasma. Speaking of BKB piercing, though, Parasma does pierce BKB, so that's always something. But there's no BKB on the side of Heroics, so it's not super relevant.
Yeah, like why does DP not feel like, you know, a Shiva's Guard or a Yule Scepter, a Heart, Kaya Sands? Like, it feels like there's a lot of tanky items, in my head at least, that would improve her stayability in fights.
I like Kaya Sands here. It's, you know, I feel like the Parasma is too much money for too little effect for her on this position right now. And I don't know, even just like a Yule Scepter or something to have a bit more mobility and a counter to the X-Mark combo or the Torrent Storm going out. I feel like there's other stuff that could be better for her.
Maybe there's something that Faith Beyond knows that we don't. Like the projectile speed increase from Parasma increases the speed of the ghosts of Exorcism.
Yeah, I don't think it does that. We would see those bats flying around super fast.
Someone would have figured it out. He's being chased here and hunted.
Uh-oh.
That torrent was close,
no.
but the vision is given. Tidal wave to push back across into the bushwhack, and the rest of Heroic are starting to swarm down here. Azure, I'm not even going to respond to this. Just leave the DP to see what she can get. Maybe a kill on Schofield on the way out. Scurries into the tree line. Another X-Mark into Torrent with that sharpshooter. Should signal the end of back, but actually he's going to BKB and chase Schofield. He really wants to kill the pesky squirrel.
He's just buying time. He's like, I want to stay alive as long as I can. That's costing though. He used all his spirit siphons as well. Meanwhile,
KJ. They finally caught him warding. They finally found him red-handed, placing observer wards.
Using a little kobold here to scout, running around, keeping an eye on things. Dalai Lama not gonna catch anyone.
It's in fact FY looking for a jump, it looks like. Hiding in the shadows. Dalai Lama now has analog behind him. A lot of pings there. Radiant have vision. That observer ward covers across the Pango and the Kunkka as the X-Mark. That big jump in from Low and FY. Catching by Llama and blowing up the Pango. Kunkka going to drop here as well for the Stormhammer and swipes out of Sven.
Big impact there. Nice catch again by FY, scouting aggressively, finding the X-Mark and then going on it in a follow-up as well. We get to see it here. Beautiful there. Just all the stuns being followed by one another. There's Sven, Lina, and Tiny, of course, synergizing really hard there. Nice double kill.
There's a lot of scribbling there. Dalai Lama's like, they've got vision somewhere over here. I don't know how they saw us or what happened, but there's an observer ward lurking.
Ah, that was a really good little Radiant ward. Spotted them, unfortunately, right where they were X-marking from.
Yeah, it was perfect. Really on the spot.
Medusa still has 130 on this Aegis, by the way. Would love to see her go for more objectives here before it times out.
Yeah, it's been a good bit of wind in the sails of Azure Ray. Getting a couple of kills, like moving across the map, getting Sven involved. But yeah, Medusa is still top of the net worth there, 20k on her. Moves into that tier 2 mid lane.
Even if Sven gets close to net worth, it's just so hard to fight into the stone gaze for him. It never really becomes easy. And of course, he has to deal with the evasion as well. He went Daedalus, not MKB, so he won't be able to pierce that as easily.
What's that Defiant Shell on the Medusa now? And even tankier. And you get that little counter attack.
Yeah, at least the armor isn't really relevant for Medusa. The armor doesn't do anything for the mana shield. The mana shield goes before it.
Oh right, it's all pre-reductions, huh?
Yeah, so actually it's not a very great item. She probably had pretty bad options then, if he took this one. No Elven Tunic, that would have been S tier for him.
Oh yeah. Would you just put the Orb Destruction back in? You're pushing towers, you're hitting buildings.
Yeah,
well,
you do. Shuffle it.
Azure Ray also pressing onto high ground. Schofield's been forced to come back and defend. Top
Luke
lane
doesn't have ulti anymore. But he did do a lot of damage.
Both teams are sticking around near the opposing high ground. Radiant scan doesn't connect on anybody.
I think Azure Ray have a stronger push here though.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're tentative, though. They're thinking about it. That tier 3 is very nearly dead, and Pugner just chipping away at it with a blast, and now a toss back. Schofield, force staff, back up to high ground. Safety for him. Reaction from Heroic coming back into this bottom lane. They lost the tier 3 already, though, and they've not done a significant amount of damage top. Tiny is going to get clipped here with a Scardy Slow. Yule Scepter, FY, still going to get hounded by Heroic.
That's still very fine for Azure. They forced the TPs defensively, and they got that tier 3 tower, like you said, so don't have to worry about the glyph reset if they come pushing next time. And of course, it's just an open door. I think Lina could have committed there for the Hoodwink kill, but he was sitting back a lot when Tiny went on the Hoodwink. Probably didn't expect Hoodwink to be completely by himself there in his base.
It's like, can you blame Ori? The way this game has gone.
Yeah, really. He's a bit traumatized from the laning stage still. You can see it. You get the shakes a little bit when you get ganked out hard.
Because you start like applying rules to yourself. Like if I don't see this hero, I do not go. If I don't know where the Pango or the Kunkka is, I'm staying back. Okay, well, onto bottom tier 2 now. Heroic shifting into this bottom lane, so they're protecting that open lane of barracks through aggression. TPs are arriving from Azure Ray, though. Start off with a stun and a blast onto the Deucer. Focusing onto K1 here, but the Rolling Thunder's in. The Manta's popped and Ori. BKB to run it back. Analog still chasing FY to the southern side of the fight. Yule Scepter buys him a little bit of time. K1 being chased by Bak now on the right-hand side. It's all over the place.
Medusa's low.
Avalanching this Pango. Medusa dropping low. Bak giving chase. The DP pressing forward. KJ body blocks and guards her. Now a light strike around the left side as the Kunkka's caught. Tidal Wave shoves them across to the right side, and Lu finally gets involved with the God Strength damage to kill Davai Lama. 2 kills in that fight. Everyone spent everything.
Ultimately,
wild stuff.
Yeah, ultimately, I will say that fight was really risky for Azure. Full in committing to the Medusa there. The Lina going hard and then blinking in, committing everything to burning down the Medusa. Could have backfired way more than it did. But in the end, they do get a pretty good trade. They get the core for a support, so they could be pretty happy with this. But bursting a Medusa is a risky maneuver, and ultimately he did survive, makes his way back to base, still hasn't died a single time this game. K1 looking stellar in the series overall. I mean, he had a fantastic previous game too.
Yeah, spectacular stuff. Like really bringing back the old days of 4 protect K1. Make sure he gets all the farm on the map.
Yeah.
Getting big.
He's building towards a BKB as well, because there's so many disables and things on Radiant side they wants to stop, so gonna be his next item of choice here.
Yeah, and I guess thinking back to that fight, if you burn the entire mana pool of Medusa, 1300 HP just isn't a lot against a Sven with God Strength. That's potentially, you know, a crit double tap from Harpoon, you're dead.
Yeah, but
so,
to burn all that mana, you need to do like 8,000 damage, so, you know, that could have been...
commitment.
That could have been some other heroes dead, probably multiple other heroes dead, as there's no BKB on the Pango or Kunkka still. I think those are easier targets for him to try and chain stun and kill.
That's true, yeah. A smoke now from Heroic. DD Rune has spawned top, no one's spotted it. And it looks like Heroic have caught a glimpse of the Sven. Yeah, low, straight. Oh, Bushtrack misses, doesn't get the land. Schofield tries the sharpshooter now as FY jumps in and Analog dives the backlines. Bak, half HP as K1 finds his man. Targets the DP and chases forward. Analog's going towards the Ori Lina now, but it's Medusa that's kind of struggling to stick on a target. They finally get FY and Ori, but that's through Analog and Davai Lama doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, Lu just can't really find an opening into this fight as well. He tried to go in, but the Medusa just kind of blocking him off. So finally he got 1 kill on the Hoodwink, coming a little bit too close. Double attack and immediate crits with Daedalus. Still looking for something here. Thinking about Analog. Oh!
Oh! Bash? Oh, he's gonna get him, eh? Analog? No, the swashbuckle back. Now the turret. Oh, Lu, what have you done? You're getting kited left and right. It is pretty speedy, though, with a war cry and a potential blink away, but another bash connects with a home missile coming. BKB just to slip out of danger.
That feels bad to have to commit that BKB there, but he wasn't really sure he was going to be fine. I think he would have made it even without it, but better safe than sorry there, I guess. Finally gets out, but this is a window here for them to do stuff on Heroic again. Aegis is available over in the Roche pit. They could go and take that with no BKB on Sven. Very hard for them to contest it.
Yeah, no God Strength, no BKB. Sven is not a massive factor in the the next fight if it happens.
And they have their own BKB now as well. Medusa got hers coming out, so on the courier, leading just now.
Untouchable K1.
Yeah, it's really been like the one like fortress of K1 or of heroic in this game. He just hasn't really been an easy target ever.
Do we give Aegis to him?
Oh,
Or do we give it to Amalok?
I think give it to Pango. Actually, you can put it on. You can put it on Medusa. He will go high ground with it. That way. Otherwise, if he doesn't have Aegis, going high ground is tricky because tiny toss back. You could actually die in the enemy base. So I think he should have it just because it's second Aegis and go high ground with it.
You get tossed back into like Decrep Laguna Blade in the mountain. You could.
It's easy to think that you're unkillable, and then suddenly you find yourself like eating tier 4 tower attacks while being chain stunned, and you're like, okay, I guess I can die.
That's like the catchphrase of everyone who plays against Team Spirit. we thought we were unkillable, then we tried to go high ground against like Magnus, Tiny, Kunkka, whatever else they got.
Yeah, definitely.
The Kings of base defense. Well, Azure, they're going to skip away from that top lane with a smoke down towards the bottom, it looks like, just evacuating the area of the map that Heroic are now inhabiting. And took the Roche. They twin gated up here.
They're smoking away, but not really smoking towards anyone right now. Lu gonna go mid and push mid creeper. I think this is a good call because they know the death ball push is gonna come with the Aegis. So Sven realizing, okay, I need to do something to stop the push. So he goes down mid. Nobody responding.
And the scribbles continue.
That's some big balls push right here because he doesn't have buyback. He's just very bravely playing.
Yeah, that is ballsy. He's got like one observer watching behind him. And that's about it in terms of vision. It's dark out there on the map.
Yeah, Sven about to hit level 25. How are we looking on levels overall? Medusa's still 23. So Sven's gonna be the first one to get this level 25. The 1 second stun duration is a really, really big one.
So who's the focus in team fights then for Azure? Because it's been kind of scrappy where they've tried to go on the Pango, tried to go on the Medusa. Multiple fights kind of break out within the team fight itself.
It's always Pango if they can burst him before he gets his rollout. Then it's a fantastic target. Otherwise, you probably have to kill his supports. I think you have to start with Hoodwink and Gyrocopter. Kunkka is very tanky to try and burst before he gets anything out. And Medusa is just not even an option. Like, you don't even think about it.
Just leave K1 to his own devices, which currently means pushing high ground, tier 3, half.
He's in your base, yeah.
Throw a few spells his way. Mana pool drops to about half. Silence for good measure. Mark just chuck some stuff at him.
Just make sure he won't cast any spells. Gonna do an X-Mark TP.
Okay, I was wondering there, like, hang on a second, K1's
he's out. He's done.
He's done. He buys a Blink Dagger as well, hey?
Yeah,
so he'll have something to swap.
And he summons Manta back at home, so they're gonna defend the bottom creep wave as well.
Yeah, very nice.
And this is hard. Right now, Azure, they're not really finding anything. They're just sitting in base and waiting. Patience. Very, very hard to be in this position right now.
Oh, low. Oh. Who's coming for you? It's KJ. Oh, back in the mid lane. K1 is being X-marked and running high ground. Fuel Scepter is there, though. He's going to Manta, dodge the toss, and FY thought he had the perfect jump, but he's dead. Buyback is available. K1 getting disarmed and zapped. Mana pool pretty much depleted completely. The Aegis will be claimed by Lu with that God Strength. And Tiny does buy back.
You can toss him back again. Under tier 4.
They want this Medusa. The Rolling Thunder will give a bit of cover, or he has to BKB and run back, and so does Buck. Getting behind that tier 4 as Analog goes diving deep, but the Pugman with the life drain heals Ori back up enough to keep him alive. Now they're with the Tornado Storm. Buck and Tianming being focused here with a bit of control, but no damage to follow through. Heroic come in, kill off the ranged racks, and they retreat.
Okay, so they get out pretty cleanly here. Don't really lose anything. That was scary looking there for Lina for a while. They do hold on the side of Azure, but they committed the Sven ulti and the Lina, or the DP ulti. So now, I don't know if they can defend a secondary push.
It's really an uphill battle for them. Like, what does Sven do when he's got no God Strength?
And not much. He does a whole lot less, but 30 seconds, he almost has it. It's not too far away. He could still kill the supports with a little bit of stun duration. At least the Yule's play to cancel the X mark was cute there, but sadly it was a Medusa, so he's like, okay, I guess I'm here now. I don't really care that much.
It's been a long while since I've seen such animated scribbling on the minimap. Usually just like, you know, a line or a circle, but KJ and Davai Lama really, like, this is a mini game for them.
Covering the minimap, yeah. Yeah. I hate playing in teams when people do that. It's like, I can't see.
Playing noughts and crosses. For a long time, there was that little Dota macro, right, where you could draw a dinosaur or just cover the map completely. Yeah, the fun times. Get vac banned for drawing a dinosaur on a minimap with macro.
How fucking dare you? A dinosaur? Get out of here, Gareth.
Okay, I'll draw the cat instead. Meow. Slow and steady. Heroic, just X marking, blinking. Send K1 up to the front lines. Kill off another tier 3.
Again, this question mark. Dusa comes up, and the question mark is, what do you do? Like, who do you go on? How do you take the fight? Very, very hard to answer for the side of Azure. Dusa going to try and finish this level 25 as well, it looks like.
We still have Parasma queued on Bach. And I just don't know if it's ever going to happen.
I don't know, man. Like, at this point, yeah, he could maybe buy it. It's not as terrible anymore. But I like that he went for different items. The Blink Dagger, the Halberd. Halberd is very, very good against Medusa. You need more than one, though. Like, this is a game where you kind of want Halberd on your Tiny, or maybe even, you know, Sven could have thought about building it at some point, just for the carry-to-carry counter.
Oh, they're all smoked up, but that turret was a nice one. Chasing forward, KJ and Davai Lama, as well as this Rolling Thunder from Analog in the back. Looking at Ori with that Abyssal Blade stun. Ori's going to BKB and back out of here, though. On the run is Bach and FY, looking at Hoodwink, self-yours, and a forced out to play with. Has a bushwhack as well.
Oh,
But now look at Davai Lama, nearly blown up by Ori. K1 stands with his BKB up, slowing low down with the Skadi. Glimmer Cape, but the X-Mark drags him back into that home missile and Torrent Storm, and low, this Sven is done for.
Oh my God.
Medusa's too powerful, they couldn't deal with her. Ori, he's going to get behind the tree line, but Bach and FY struggling to handle K1's Snake Lady. FY tucks away, K1 with another hit dodged by the Blink. Meanwhile, Bach is trying as hard as he can to kill off this Kunkka. Tanky fella, Davai Lama, not going to find the Blink TP out from DP. I mean,
Kunkka went from 10 HP to like 2000 HP from the Bloodstone. I don't know if it's caught in the replay here, but yeah, Kunkka basically just found his way to getting all the HP back. They're actually pushing down mid immediately here as well in the game. They're going to get the barracks, but look at Kunkka. No HP at all. Cast Torrent Storm and X-Mark combos here. And then, I mean, you saw what HP he had afterwards, so yeah, it came back.
Yeah, he got like 1500 to 2000 just immediately. Back to half HP pretty much.
The dragon on the throne is a little bit scared right now. It's like, guys, guys.
Yeah. That's a paper tiger. It looks very threatening, but it's just made of paper.
Yeah, it's origami.
Not very powerful. Analog is, though. Sharpshooter to back him up. Abyssal Blade and Rolling Thunder causing problems for Ori. And look at that Tidal Wave Torrent play. Drags around the fountain. Light Strike Ray and Laguna Blade just doing very little at this point to these tanky heroes. As K1 steps up, draws the line in the sand and says, all right, this space now belongs to us. Step forward if you dare.
Medusa just pushing here, and as per usual, we don't really see a great way to stop her. She's looking too strong. No mana burn really on this team. No way to solve her. We are gonna respect them and back out and say we'll come back when we have full resources. Give us a second. Let us take all the wisdom runes and all the goodies on the map right now. Maybe get a tier 4 item as well.
And the potential for Roshan is there too. We know it's 2 minutes away, but theoretically could be up already.
Yeah. Pango's gonna go for the double wisdom rune as well. Took one, almost has level 25. Second wisdom rune will get it. It's a race. Medusa is racing him. They're fighting for it, man. You can see it. Medusa is like, no.
Level 30 is on the horizon for Medusa.
He's running
like,
at it.
nah.
For a second, I thought they were going for Torment together, but no, that was just a race. They're having some fun.
Race to the wisdom. Yeah, it's going to take a drastic move now from Azure. They need to fight into this Roshan, need to fight into a choke point, some kind of terrain play, use high ground, use vision, some way to find those targets in the back that just aren't the Medusa. Somebody else, please.
I have good news, Gareth. The Parasma is here, all right? The DP has the Parasma.
Scanning.
We'll see if it can do enough to turn the tide here. Gyrocopter could be an easy kill.
He's pretty tanky. 2.5. Oh, not when Lou jumps you, though. Schofield and KJ nearly getting blown up. That was a good Yule Scepter route. Still going to harpoon them back. Analog wants to get involved in this. It's a 4v5, and Lou's still going with his god strength, but he's being shredded alive. K1, BKBs and charges forward onto the Tiny. FY in trouble. Sharpshooter straight on in between them all. Tianming decrypts the vibe at a time. Lou's still going with Ori, though, and K1, he's got backup now, arriving with Dalai Lama and Schofield still toying with them, but Ori grabs a double. FY potential with the toss back here, could catch Dalai Lama, and Azure signs of life as they crit down the Kunkka.
Amazing fight for them. They get the start that they want, go on the supports, burst both the supports almost immediately. And then from that fight, I mean, you can see how much easier it is for them when they actually get the jump they need. But everyone on the side of Heroic were a little bit too far there as the fight started out.
And it's like spreading 3 different directions, right? Dalai Lama K1 on the left-hand side, Ori using that staircase very nicely, and Lou just using his body to perfection, jumping in, being a target. Gets stunned up a little bit, but then he's able to rejoin on the left-hand side.
I mean, that was really nice, blinking up and finishing off the Pango as well. You can see the damage output is there for this Sven. Just need to have the lockdown, the disable. It was a little bit worrisome at first when they jumped the Gyrocopter. They didn't have any detection against him immediately, so he just Glimmer Cape and 4-staffed away. But fortunately, they did have enough to stay on target.
Well, then KJ walked into Schofield, and Schofield was a perfect blink stun target for the Sven to cleave off of. Ori has walked into a Medusa here. It looks like a gentleman's agreement just to run away from each other.
So he has that 25 talent on Lina, the 150% crit on everyone affected by Dragon Slave. So he's got the right-click build going, Daedalus and MKB. He actually hits really hard. Still kind of needs that Aghanim Scepter to just be flying as well and have, a bit of extra mobility, survivability from it.
Oh yeah, just thinking back, while that fight was happening, it was a 4v5 because Tianming was in the Radiant base defending against Mega Creeps. They broke through the final buildings, they got onto the throne, which did take a little bit of damage. That's something that you have to be very wary of here as Azure. Because you've pushed out all 3 lanes right now, you're in a good spot. Roshan is alive and in the pit waiting for you. And look at Bach's positioning. Very deep.
Being sneaky behind them. Oh, smoke
ground.
revealed. They know it's there.
Oh, K1. He misblinks, it looks like. Bushwhack not quite going to connect as they would have wanted, but Bach, what was it? He's floating over everything. He's on top of the cliff over here, blinking over there.
He's just in there, man.
Schofield
looking for
with Dalai Lama. Low jumps. Just going to stun down, but the stone gates from K1 going to cause problems for him and the rest of Azure. Caught up in chain stun, being disabled forever. Sven just cannot move. He's stuck in the bog, stuck in the mud. He's been broken down and killed off by K1. Dead for 100 seconds. I do lose Tianming as well. There's no buyback on Sven or the Pugner. Ori going to try BKB.
Oh no, Lina too.
There for Analog. They get the kill on him too. That might as be lights out.
Yeah, they lost all their course. That was, eventually it felt like this was just a matter of time. Heroic, they were so far ahead in terms of just damage output overall, and they need the perfect initiation on Azure to even have a fight. They tried to go on the supports, but Sven, you can see the chain stun there. Gets used, and after that, just a million stuns landed on him.
GG called. A 2-0 victory for Heroic over Azure.
That is very impressive. I mean, not what I would have expected for this matchup, so really well done by Heroic and Azure. Gotta lick their wounds after this. That was definitely some good outplay by Heroic.